What's going on, fellows? 76P10 again. I seen it coming, and it just amazes me. You happy now, Megas? You happy what you did? I was a trainer for a company. I'm not going to say the name. And I always say this story. Out of 100 students, I passed 10. Why did I pass 10? Because as an old school trucker, I knew they wanted it. I knew this is something that they wanted to do. Not only to support their family, but I knew that when I put my John Hancock on the documentation, those students were passed. The ones that didn't pass ran back. And you know what their cop-out was? My trainer's an a-hole. That's their cop-out. Every trainee will tell you that that's the cop-out, to say that every trainer is an a-hole because their personalities clash or they couldn't get along with that trainer. I seen guys in the class that had less than 2 months experience become trainers. This is what you have, and I've been saying it for years. This is what you have out on the highway today. And that is because these mega carriers went ahead and made these guys trainers because they wanted somebody in, or what we call a meat in the seat. It wasn't about safety, never was. It was about get this guy trained. He came out of our school, trucking school, so we're going to put him to work with a trainer next. And they were putting them with guys who had maybe 2 months experience. Whereas if they had put, well, I'm going to get to that point in a minute. What I wanted to say to the megas, you proud of yourself now? One of the things, and I'm gonna come with a solution, okay? Here's your solution. You need to hire guys that have 3 to 5 years experience just for training, meaning making them trainers. They don't do nothing but train, okay? So if you hire some experienced drivers, that rookie is going to know the difference or the distance. See, I don't even think they teach the Smith system no more. I don't know if they do or don't. But the Smith system was taught, and I think the Smith system was a great way of getting a rookie to understand his surroundings. Distance. A rookie's not going to understand what a veteran will understand. A veteran driver will know, well, Old Dominion does such and such speed. Estes does this speed. Saya does this speed. And they'll know automatically that that truck, every time they pass it, it's not going to go no faster than what you see it doing right there in front of you. Okay? What it is they have been taught this. It's bad training, okay, from somebody who did not have experience. So they've been taught to get right up in his behind and imprint his name or his company in your forehead, and you see it all the time going down the highway. The truck is pretty much right in the guy's backside before he finally makes the decision to move. And I've seen it and I watched it constantly going down the highway. Usually I'll back out of it. I'll wait. If I'm in that left lane, I'll wait, because I want to see what this guy's going to do next. See, he's so used to people not letting him over. He's so used to bad judgment that's the way he's been taught. He was taught by somebody who didn't know. You know, that's why you're seeing the pileups, because they're tailgating. They're tailgating these other trucks. You know, I know how to judge distance. I know if I'm coming up on a truck at a certain speed, and that truck, I usually am a truck's length over in the left lane. to move. But then I have to back out of it because I want to see what Joe Blow over here gonna do next, because he's got nowhere to go. He's been taught to run right up in this behind and then move over, because you're going at a slower speed or you're going at the same speed he's going. So just get right up in his backside, then move over. Then here comes a hill, or he has no way out. That's why we say, leave yourself an out. The purpose of the trucks that you see that are company trucks, that are megas, going at the speed they're going, is to keep you in that lane, that right lane. You should be nowhere near the left lane. We've been telling you that for years. Are you listening now? You should be riding over there in that right lane and joining them when ain't nobody around, because that's when I know you're not looking in your mirrors. See, I'm watching. I'm an old school. I gotta watch, because I've been doing this so long. My career's on the line, and I'm not gonna let you jeopardize that. But I know you're not looking in the mirror till the last minute. When you decide to look in the mirror is when you decide to move over. You have not even assessed the situation, because first of all, you're too close, so you can't assess that fast. And then you have to try to assess whether I can get over or not. Now you're slamming on brakes, and we're just looking at you, especially a lot of these experienced drivers, they're looking at you like, wow, you know, we already know. We could spot the inexperience. All you got to do is watch the guy running up in the guys behind. That's what that tells us everything. That's how we know you've been improperly trained. And I've been saying it for years. Improperly trained. I would never put my name on a document that I felt that driver was not going to be safe, or that he, you know, and I used to say it all the time as a trainer. I would tell them when they start rolling, even though the truck had enough giddy up and go to get around the guy, I say, nope, back off. You're not ready to tow the hammer lane yet. Back off. And I would tell them. And then when they would get close, I say, hey man, you really want to be that close? What do you mean? You want his if he has to brake, if a deer jump out in front of him, if a car, you don't know what the hell is going on in front of him. That's why a lot of times when I get in the left lane, I kind of assess the situation to see. If a car is coming up fast and I'm already in the left lane, he can go around if he want to, but I'm assessing the situation of what's going on here. Because I can see you running up in the guy's behind, and you didn't even look in the mirror to see that there was nothing. And there's been many of the times nothing was behind me, and you still cut me off. But I didn't say anything. I let it ride, and I said, okay, I know, and I don't blame you. I blame the people that have trained you. I blame them for it, because I already know you were improperly trained. That's what it comes down to. It's a sad thing, you know. It's sad because you didn't know coming into this industry that the megas were using you as a puppy mill to get you to drive their truck and make them money. You didn't know that. You know, you had no clue. So, and this is a compassion statement to you, or a public service announcement, so to speak. Us old timers, we know. That's why when I see you doing real weird stuff, you know what I'm talking about. When I'm going up a hill and you're riding on the side of me, but you don't know what my weight is, and you have no clue that I already know what I weigh when I'm coming up on the side of you to be able to pass you. Probably because I'm light, or I know what my truck can do. You don't. You don't know what your truck can do. You got some inkling, but you don't have a clue. And you sit there and ride on the side of me, and I just kind of look at my right mirror and go, improperly trained. And I think it to myself. And then once I crest that hill and then come on down on the other side, and you see the tail end of my ICC bumper, then you already know. How'd he do that? Because I've been doing it a long time. So I know, and I'll say it again, I know what I can and cannot get away with. So, and you don't. You think every truck driver is the same. You think every truck run at the same speed, but you don't know. Experienced drivers already gonna know. Hey man, I see the guy up there with his hazard lights on the side of the freeway. I'm moving over. I don't give a damn if I'm 90 miles back. I'm moving over. Not to hog up the lane, but I'm also looking back to see, is there anything around me or behind me so I can do that? You don't. You were improperly trained. Think of it this way. I'll put it another way. If you were trained by somebody who had 5, 10, 15 years, and he was trained by somebody who had 15, 20 years, he was trained by somebody who had 30, 40 years, do you think he's going to have a lot more experience than you? Compared to you getting up there with a trainer that's got 2 months. 2 months. What's he going to teach you? He's just there for the ride and the money. He don't give a damn about if you pass or don't pass. He going to make sure you sign the paper. Okay, pass. You still don't have a clue. And that's the sad part. So for the megas, I'm speaking to you now. You can rectify this. You can make it right by getting your making it a policy that to train they have to have at least 5 years or more experience. 3 years, I know you guys have a retention problem. I know. But he has to have 3 to 5 years experience because you've already damaged the industry by putting them with somebody with 2 months experience. And how many trucks have been torn up because of that? Because I ran into a lot of trainers with a lot less experience. One guy actually rolled the truck on the guy because he got mad, so he just threw it off the cliff. I remember that. I'm not going to say the name of that company either, but I talked to the guy personally. He had a cast on his arm. I said, what happened? The trainee drove the truck off. And why is a trainer asleep in the bunk? You want me to start naming names? Because I'll start naming them. Running into gas stations, blowing shit up. Yeah, I caught that video. Aren't y'all tired, megas, of losing money to insurance companies? I'm sure your rates are through the roof. Your safety scores, they're probably getting pulled in every time at a scale. No doubt. That's why you want the speed limiters, right? Come on with it. Tell the truth. You can make it right. Stop with all the BS. Because we already know, I know for a fact your rates are probably through the roof because you're hiring trainees. But you got that kind of money to spend. What about your shareholders? Do they have that kind of money to spend? What do your shareholders think of that? They see one of your trucks running through a gas station killing people. You know who you are. I don't have to announce names. Utah. But you know who you are. Because you're putting trainees with people who you call trainers who are not trainers. And it needs to be mandatory across the board with you guys because you're all related. You're not fooling me. I already know you. I know you. You're all related. So what I'm saying to you is make it right. I work for all of you. Every last one of you except one. But I work for every last one of you. And I know y'all by name and I've seen y'all face personally. Except one who's passed away. But I know you owners and I know who you are. And I think you should make this right by making a policy of no trainers. No one is allowed to be a trainer until they have at least 3 to 5 years. Minimum. 3 years minimum, 5 years max. And I know that's hard to do. But it's going to save you a lot of dollars at the insurance company, I'm telling you. Because y'all, the four-wheelers are cause of pileups, but you guys are causing it too because you got irresponsible, untrained, so-called professional drivers out here behind the wheel of an 80,000-pound vehicle. You take a loss, and with your shareholders, but I'm sure the shareholders would rather people be safe than to have lives taken. Now I'm done with it, you know. 76 Papa 10 out.